Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the most recent, actually not the most recent, the night one of two-night extravaganza called SummerSlam. So yeah, this year emanated from New Jersey from MetLife Stadium. So yeah, so let's get right on into it. I'm gonna do night one first, and then I'll do night two tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm back in my house at that point. But for today, we're just gonna have to deal with this. So I'm going to be going over all the matches. I'm going to rank them and give the full show a rating at the end of it. So, the show started off with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Honestly, in my opinion, it was a pretty fun match. It was a pretty fun match. Roman and Bronson did some crazy moves. Roman did stuff in his moveset that hasn't been done in a while. Like, man, Roman pulled stuff out for this match. A pretty fun tag match. It was pretty cool to see Jey pick up the pin and not Roman for the first time ever. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see there. I'm gonna give it a 3.6 out of 5. It was pretty fun, like I said. The second match was the Women's Tag Team Championship between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus the Judgment Day, which was Raquel and Roxanne. For the first, I'm pretty sure this match was 13 minutes. So, for the first 6 or 7 minutes, it was just kind of dragging out. It was not really getting anywhere. But then the last 6 minutes, it really picked up pretty well. And yeah, we have new champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. That's pretty much it. It ended up being good at the end of it, so yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a 3.3 out of 5. We have new champions. Yeah, so far the show is pretty good so far. So yeah, until we got to this third match, Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn. In my opinion, it wasn't as bad as everyone is saying it is, but I just thought it needed a lot more, and it definitely did not hit as well as I thought it would hit. This unfortunately led to me discovering that Karrion in ring is not the greatest, which hurts me to say because I've been a big fan of Karrion throughout the past year and all that. It was an okay match, honestly. Way too short, way too way too much of a weird ending. They're just trying to turn Sami heel, but I don't know. Sami just won off one finisher as well. I mean, I don't know. The match, it just felt flat. I'm gonna give it a 3.1 out of 5. Sami Zayn ended up winning the feud. But yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 3.1 out of 5. It felt flat there. So yeah. Next up was a WWE Women's Championship between Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Honestly, it was a good match. It was a pretty good match to start off, and then it just ended abruptly, which was unfortunate because these two were cooking like crazy. Jade and Tiffany were proving all the haters wrong, and then they just got cut. I don't know why. Like I said, it was a pretty good match. They both looked great in this match as well. A little bit surprised to see Tiffany retain the title, but that's really about it. Like, I just did not expect for the match to end as quickly as it did. I was expecting at least 15 to 17 minutes out of this one. Ended in 7. This was the shortest match of the entire weekend, which very unfortunate because I wanted to see these two cook because they honestly were, but I guess not. It ended abruptly, which I'm gonna give it a 3.3 out of 5. So yeah. And then the fifth match of the night was Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Honestly, it was just a nothing exhibition tag match, so I did not care about this match at all. I did watch it. It was as long as the Jade and Tiffany match should have been. But yeah, it was 17 minutes, and yeah. It was okay. It was not the greatest tag match ever. They did this whole injury angle, which we've seen a lot of times before, so really did not intrigue me that much. I'm just the thing that really surprised me was how into it Jelly Roll was. Jelly Roll, most celebrities, they just won't do much for the match. But Jelly Roll was literally looked like an active star during this match. He looked like he's wrestled for a while. That's how good he looked in this match. That's really the only highlight I have here. Logan Paul did that cool splash, but that's basically about it. They had this whole injury angle, which I did not like. And yeah, another thing that really surprised me was that Drew and Logan won, and I heard earlier today that Jelly Roll wanted to lose the match, which was very surprising to me. I don't know why he would have lost unless they're gonna continue the feud. But that was pretty interesting to see Drew and Logan getting the win here. So yeah, but overall, I just wasn't caring for this tag match. I'm gonna give it a 2.8 out of 5. So yeah, and yeah. The main event was the World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther versus CM Punk. Honestly, I was saying this during the stream as well, this was a perfect wrestling match. Well, not the perfect match, because I think it could have been a little bit better, but it's fine. It's fine. This was wrestling match. This was not a shenanigans weapons match or whatnot. Nothing too insane. It was just a pure wrestling match. And I was saying this during the stream as well, that they were in the ring for 22 minutes out of the... Actually, no, I think less than that. My bad. The match was 25 minutes. That's why. Actually, no, I think it went longer, actually. I have no idea. Um, yeah, I think it was longer. I don't know, but the thing that I liked about this match is that they were in the ring. They were not doing anything stupid on the outside. Like they were not doing any classy moves to get a cheap pop. No, they were just wrestling, which is what I liked about the match. It was pretty good, pretty simple, simplistic. It was good wrestling. Basically, it was real graps for what people say on Twitter nowadays. And then they went outside of the ring, which I got sad, but they did the whole Gunther blood spot there. I'm like really surprised. Also, there's one thing I didn't like. Gunther was gloating on the announce table, which is something I don't like because Gunther, who he usually is, he gets the match done really quickly, really aggressively. He doesn't just sit there and gloat over his opponents like that. No, which is I think kind of a stupid thing for Gunther to do because he's never done that before. Now he's all of a sudden doing it. I don't know. I didn't like it. But then he got tripped by Punk, and then he just started bleeding like crazy out of nowhere. Which I think he has a real injury, unless that was a fake report. Meltzer again. I don't know, but apparently he did have a real injury, so that's why they're just covering it up with an actual spot. So yeah, there's a lot of blood as well. My goodness, I wonder how big a fall that was to get that much blood. Unless it was a blade job, I don't know. But overall, Punk ended up winning the title. I'm gonna give the main event a 4 out of 5, but it's not over yet because out comes Seth Rollins in the ruse of the century, turned by Michael Cole. Honestly, I do think it was a ruse of the century because I legitimately believed he was hurt. Although all the reports that came out was that like he was legitimately hurt, like his knee was swollen to like the size of a grapefruit or something. He didn't tell anybody about this. Like they kept it as secret as they could have. I thought he was coming out there just so they can like taunt CM Punk and they can just troll the crowd, which WWE has done before. But no, the way he dropped the crutches was so hard, it was insane. I liked it. Seth cashes in and he's your new World Heavyweight Champion. I think it was a good cash in. It wasn't the greatest. Like I'm not saying it. I'm not comparing it to his Heist of the Century type thing, but I thought it was a job well done. I thought it did what it needed to do there. So yeah, here are the rankings for all the matches. And yeah, I'm gonna give the full show a 3.6 out of 5. I thought it was good. It's just like a good amount of it could have been a lot better though. It was good, but it could have been a lot better considering the match card we had. I mean, the match card wasn't great on paper, but I think it really could have been better. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully in my house for night number 2.